Yo, what's up, Pancake Posse? I hope you're all doing awesome. I'm Matt, and today we're diving into some more AMANDABUTTERFLY. Oops, got carried away there. Before we jump into today's tales, give me a quick sec to shout out some amazing new supporters who've recently hopped on board. I'm so grateful for all of you. Please bear with me if your name isn't listed yet. The platform's system is trickling names to me slowly. Big thanks to Tommy Hawk, Jaden P, Serotonin Slump, Eternal Vibe, Pixie Pal with the comeback, Ravenswood with the return. Hope you're good, buddy. Kara Peterson, Lila Warren, Crunchy Crisp, Jake Henderson, Vinix, Jonas K, and Kira Lopez for joining the crew. Your support means everything. Truly thank you for being here and tuning in every day. It's mind-blowing. I'm beyond appreciative. Now let's dive into today's stories. Much love, everyone. Our first story comes from Bumbles, who asks, "Am I the jerk for breaking up a wrongful death payout? Back in 1996, I, male, 39, my brother, male, 38, and my dad, male, 63, were awarded a hefty sum from a settlement after my mom, my dad's wife, passed away unjustly. The lawsuit gave each of us separate amounts, all life-altering figures. At the time, my brother and I, aged 14 and 13, decided to pool our shares into a trust, with our dad as the overseer. As trustee, he could withdraw earnings like interest, dividends, or capital gains, but not the core amount. We confirmed this choice when my brother hit 21. By 2004, we didn't talk much about the trust or its funds. Fast forward to 2020, when my dad asked my brother and me to grant him full control of the trust. At first, we were ready to agree without much thought, but his attorney advised us to consult our own lawyer to understand the implications. We did, and our lawyer warned us we'd be foolish to hand it over. It'd be like tossing the money into a bonfire. My brother and I were still leaning toward agreeing until our spouses caught wind of the plan. Both wives thought we were out of our minds, but said it was our call. We sought more opinions, and everyone we spoke to agreed it'd be reckless to give our dad unrestricted access. While we were gathering advice, the trust was split back into 3 separate accounts. So my brother and I each controlled our own portions and had to decide whether to transfer them to our dad. We chose not to. For me, this came down to what the funds could do for my wife, our 3 kids, and me. I believe my wife and I should determine how to use it to secure our children's future. Since then, my dad and his siblings, our aunts, have practically cut ties with my brother and me over this. That last bit hit me hard. It makes me wonder, what was the plan for that money? It doesn't seem like my dad was thinking of us at all. Why are the aunts so upset? If he already had his own substantial share, what was he going to do with ours? Everyone in this story was right. You'd have been crazy to just hand it over. Family ties can cloud judgment, but I'm glad you listened to those around you. You made the right call for your wife and kids. I checked OP's profile for more details, and he responded to some comments. User Bookwarden asked, "Definitely not the jerk, especially since your dad had his own settlement. What did he say he needed full access for?" OP replied, "He said he's been a trustworthy manager for over 20 years, so I should keep trusting him. Also, he and my stepmom plan to use it for their retirement. I've since learned he took every penny of the trust's earnings annually." OP also clarified in another comment, "Many asked what my dad wanted the money for. He told me he's been a reliable steward for 20-plus years, so I shouldn't doubt him. He and my stepmom, who's been around most of my life, were counting on it for retirement. They're not broke. They own a flashy sports car and a lawnmower worth more than my vehicle." Bookwarden followed up, "What's your stepmom's take? Why does she think she's entitled to the settlement?" OP answered, "In an email, she claimed my brother and I owe her for all the sacrifices she made raising us." User Spiral Tress asked, "Not the jerk. You each got separate settlements because you each suffered a personal loss. Your mom wasn't your dad's to claim. Are you sure the relatives know the full story?" OP responded, "The aunts tried to mediate for my dad back when we were still talking. I told them this was between me and my dad and their input wasn't decisive. I was harsh and later apologized for my tone, but not my stance." Auntie Rose asked, "Not the jerk. Will you pursue the interest he took after you turned 18? OP replied, "No, it's not worth it. I've already gained more money than I could have earned in years and lost much of my family. Why fight them for more? I hope it's worth more to him than knowing his grandkids," User Sunbeam added. "Not the jerk. If your dad and his siblings disowned you for splitting the trust instead of giving him control, he likely didn't have your interests at heart." Raven said, "Not the jerk. He's either planning something risky or rethinking who gets what. There was no issue when the trust was set up. Only his desire to control it all changed. Since he cut you off over money, that was his priority. Good riddance. Valkyrie Wings quoted the disowning line and said, "Everyone else was right. They were probably going to take your money, or they wouldn't have disowned you, not the jerk." Finally, Star Hopper commented, "Wow, not the jerk. I used an investment calculator, and the returns since 1996 are staggering. I tested $100,000, no clue if that's close to your amount, and over 24 years, it could grow to $474,000 to $879,000, or at least $279,000. Your dad likely lived off the income, especially recently. With sports cars and fancy mowers, it's probably more than $100,000. What do you think? Was OP right to keep the funds, or should they have given them to their dad? What do you reckon their dad planned to do with it? Share your thoughts below, and let's move to the next story. Our next tale comes from my offspring, who asks, "Am I the jerk for telling my son the truth about his mother? His mom, female 44, and I, male 44, split 9 years ago after I caught her cheating with my buddy in our house, with our 4-month-old son asleep nearby. The breakup was tough, especially on the kids, but we tried our best to keep them happy. We agreed not to tell them why we parted until they were grown, saying only that we worked better apart and it was best for everyone. But I got fed up. A few years post-split, I met someone new, and we're now married with a 20-month-old daughter and another baby on the way. My 2 eldest sons, 19 and 18 male, refuse to meet their sister or even talk to my wife, female 27. They've never explained why, they just despise her. Early on, when I started dating my wife, their reaction made some sense. She's younger and she was the first person I dated after their mom. I gave them time to adjust, but months turned into years, and they never warmed to her. My wife said she was fine with it, so I let it slide. But their behavior worsened, and when our daughter was born, they refused to meet her. That infuriated me. They were treating her like an outsider just because they dislike her mom. So I stopped reaching out, as I was always the one making contact. I was done chasing them. Then, my wife showed me texts they sent her after she tried to mend things a few weeks ago. They insulted her, calling her vile names and saying they'd never meet our illegitimate daughter because they hate her as much as they hate my wife. I was livid, called one of my sons, and we argued. He said he hated my wife because his mom told them I cheated on her with my wife, a complete lie, as I didn't even know my wife back then. Furious, I told him his mom was the cheater and offered to show him paternity test papers from when his younger brother was born, as she wasn't sure who the father was due to years of infidelity. He went silent and hung up. Now I wonder if I went too far. I was angry because I love my wife and daughter, and my wife is the kindest person I know. Seeing her hurt broke me. Was I the jerk for spilling the truth? User Expert B, 33, said, "You don't get why your sons dislike your wife. Are you clueless? Your oldest is only 8 years younger than her. With kids, you have to choose partners carefully, as it affects them too. She's closer to their age than yours. It's like she could be their sister, not their stepmom. You caused this. You're the jerk. I feel for your kids." User Robin replied, "So we overlooked that his ex cheated and lied to the kids, making him the bad guy?" Expert B33 responded, "OP's likely leaving out timeline details. The kids believed their mom's lie for a reason. Maybe the timing of his new relationship seemed suspicious." OP clarified, "What details? I've been with my wife for nearly 5 years. She was 23 when we started dating, turning 28 soon. I never married my ex. We just split over 9 years ago. I met my wife years later. She was a teenager when I broke up with my ex. I'd never date a teen. I'm not a creep." User True Blue said, "Hell no, not the jerk. Your ex crossed a line, lying out of spite or jealousy. You did right by countering lies with truth. It'll take time, but truth prevails." User Skyvibe said, "Everyone's at fault. You're old enough to be your wife's dad. I'd be uneasy too if I were your kids. You weren't wrong to clarify you didn't cheat, but being so blunt didn't help. Your ex is the worst for lying to ruin your bond with your kids." User CoreQuest added, "Sorry you're dealing with this, OP. It was time to tell the truth, especially after your ex lied about you cheating. Your sons may need time to process, but I hope they come around and respect your wife and their siblings. What's your take? Share below, and let's move on." Our next story is from Tossaway Mind Mess, who asks, "Am I the jerk for refusing to assist my ADHD husband until he seeks treatment? I, female 27, and my husband, male 35, have been married 2 years. Until last year, things were great. He's had an ADHD diagnosis since childhood and thrived on medication, managing a solid job with minor symptoms. About 6 months after our wedding, I noticed changes. He became forgetful, snappy, and started impulse buying. As a medical resident, I asked if his meds were off. He admitted he'd stopped taking them, swayed by blogs claiming he didn't need them, saying ADHD was his gift, and I should accept him as is or not at all. Things spiraled over the past year. He used to help with chores, but now can't even start the dishwasher without wandering off. We keep finances separate, but despite decent income, he's burned through savings and struggles with his share of bills. He's had outbursts, even losing a close friend over a petty spat. He denies these issues and gets mad when I mention I've covered most expenses for 4 months while managing the house and my residency. I hit my limit when he asked for money for his car payment for the 3rd time. I told him I'd keep utilities on, but his car, insurance, and other costs were his responsibility. No more bailouts. I also said I couldn't keep doing everything, so his laundry and meals were on him. He lasted less than a week before asking for help again. I said I'd only help if he pursued ADHD treatment, not necessarily the same meds, but something, as this was unbearable. We fought, and he said I should support him because his ADHD means he can't help it. I shot back that he'd called ADHD his gift for a year, so he could use that gift to handle his car payments and laundry without me or get treatment for help. He called me a cruel name and stormed off. A psychiatrist friend said my quip was harsh, but my boundaries were fair. My sister-in-law thinks I'm wrong to push meds if he doesn't want them. I'm exhausted, and if this continues, leaving him is next. I checked for OP's comments, but there were none yet. I say not the jerk. Your boundaries are reasonable. You're just pointing out he's not managing life now, unlike when he was medicated. He should talk to his doctor, not follow random blogs, and expect you to handle everything. User Bold Move said, not the jerk. When someone's actions harm others regularly, they need to change. You shouldn't force meds, but he can't force you to stay if it's draining you. He must meet you halfway. User Deepthink replied, refusing treatment and expecting your spouse to handle everything isn't what marriage is about. User Sparklepath said, not the jerk. As someone with ADHD, I'm appalled he's bought into this superpower meds are bad nonsense. It's not your job to manage his disorder when he refuses to. User Wolfchase said, not the jerk. The man you married was responsible, not this. He's made choices and must face consequences. User Moonglow said, not the jerk. Your request is fair. He's making poor choices despite knowing better. What would you do in OP's place? Share below and let's move on. Our final story comes from Hidden Mom, who asks, am I the jerk for taking all my daughter's female 14 money? My daughter, Sienna, has about $2,800 saved from allowance, doing neighbors' chores and selling handmade bracelets. She values her money deeply. Yesterday, my son, Eli, male, 10, told me Sienna paid a friend to destroy his painting. Eli loves art and was working on a winter scene as a Christmas gift for Sienna. He was heartbroken, and I was livid. I confronted Sienna, and she said it was for a reaction video. I told her it was cruel, but she insisted it was just a prank. Eli said it wasn't funny and was clearly hurt. Sienna gave a weak apology, which I said was meaningless. As punishment, I told her I was taking all her money until she earned it back with better behavior and that she'd get no more allowance. She was shocked and started sobbing, saying she worked hard for that money, and I was stealing it over a dumb joke. She said she'd planned to shop with friends next weekend and now couldn't. She stormed off, crying, and locked herself in her room. Eli agreed with my decision, but suggested returning the money if she apologizes sincerely. He's even willing to paint her another picture if she does. My husband thinks I'm too harsh and that grounding her for a month would have been enough. He and Sienna think I'm the jerk. Am I? I checked OP's comments for more context. I'm concerned about Sienna's lack of empathy. Paying someone to ruin her brother's gift for a video is troubling. Social media fuels this behavior. But is taking her money teaching her anything? Or is it just punishment? User Gentle Breeze asked, Sienna's in the wrong, but as a parent, you can't just take her money. That's overstepping. OP replied, I'm not abusing her. I'm trying to guide her. It wasn't the best approach, but I'm out of options. I'm not keeping or spending her money. I'm holding it to teach her. How does this benefit me? User Teen Voice said, you're the jerk. Teens do dumb things. Eli's young. He'll move on from the painting. Taking her money is practically theft. She might cut you off at 18. OP responded. You're a teen, so you don't understand parenting. Eli's sensitive and doesn't recover quickly. Taking her money isn't illegal. I'm her mom, and I'm not spending it. I'll return it when she acts right. User Fair Judge asked, did you take all her money or just allowance? Taking earned money is unfair. OP said, all of it, but I'll give it back when she behaves. User Kind Pup replied, not the jerk. If she caused damage, she'd have to pay with her earnings. She'll get it back when she improves. User Clear Mind asked, what's the goal? Behaving is vague. Set clear steps. OP listed, she must 1. Apologize sincerely to Eli. 2. Treat him kindly. 3rd, grasp her actions' impact. 4th, stop seeing that friend. 5. Limit social media for 2 months. 6. Show genuine remorse, not just regret for punishment. OP added edits. Thanks for your input. I've decided what to say to Sienna after school and will update on my profile. The post is tagged Everyone's at Fault with mixed comments. What do you think? Does the punishment fit or is it too much? What would you do? Share below. Huge thanks for hanging out today. If you enjoyed these stories, hit that like button. It helps a ton. To support more, check the join button below for YouTube or my Patreon link in the description. I recorded a bonus supporters video yesterday, so that's coming soon. Thanks for your love and time. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay awesome.